He may not be. Yeah, we're gonna try to pause the players, but we did script out exactly how this was going to end. We got to him finally. I see a loading wheel. I understand. Yeah, I mean, Steve has just done most of exactly what we said. I don't know how to get this back.
He's still going, so
he can't. I don't think he's got volume there.
Oh, it's up.
Are we back? Awesome. Stephen Indian has been doing exactly what he said he was going to do. Drew
Which
into the fast bond.
Is what we told him to do.
Yeah, well, we did ask him to pause a couple of plays ago, but he demonic tutored for Black Lotus. He has now resolved a Yawgmoth's will, and now he's off to the races, generating all the storm he needs. Man, hitting the fast bond off the gush just made this super simple. He never even had to take down Flusterstorm, so even if Tom had managed to come up with a Force of Will, Steve had a Flusterstorm the whole time. And Steve naturally drew the tendrils, so doesn't even need to cast the demonic tutor to go get it, but he had that too, so nice job, Steve Menendian. Mystical tutor for demonic tutor for Black Lotus, so the Yawgmoth's will would be lethal and set up a tendrils that, oh, by the way, has a demonic tutor and a Black Lotus in the graveyard.
Yeah, Steve put together two of the sweeter wins of all the seasons I've seen in this match. It was very impressive. Yeah. Some really cool games, in my opinion.
No, that's a great point. I mean, I'm probably everybody except Tom would agree with that.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, storm counts up to 9. Tendrils of Agony for the win. Yeah, he's just casting spells to make sure his storm count's high enough.
We're in the showboat stage. How big?
Yeah, he got to storm 10. That doesn't count.
I mean, I do it too.
What if they have a Force of Will for a copy and then something else for another copy?
Yeah, that is true. Misclicking through the Yawgmoth's will would be even more brutal than not playing the rest in peace, though.
Fair. All right, Steve Menendian wins. That's a fun night. Some crazy matches, some crazy games. A couple of really nice lines from Steve Menendian, though, and pulls himself out of the cellar. We should look at the schedule, take stock of where things are at. Believe it is just Kai Buddha who 0-3'd. Yeah, you see Kai down at the bottom. Bob won his match. Steve won his. So Kai is all alone in last place. David Ochoa is all alone in first place. He won, but Luis and Rich did not. So basically a whole bunch of players at 2-1 and 1-2. It's going to be 4-4. Interesting. And yep, here's the match. The reign of the players listed on the left ended at 8 matches in a row. It was a 5-0 sweep last week. Super important stats. That's why I get the big bucks. Dredge got the 2-1. Steve Menendian got his win with Doomsday, dropping Tar Martel to 1-2. So who are the 2-1s? It's you, me, Rich Shea, and Luis.
That's right. Yeah, we got the beautiful bell curve, the 1-4-4-1.
Indeed. Then the 1-2s are Bob, Tom, Steve, and Chris Pakula.
Yeah, that's really interesting. If Kai can put together a little run, he could have a nice scrum for that play-in spot. Of course, the 2-1s are certainly not out of trouble yet. I think we've had 3 and 6 has been the mark to beat each year, but we've had worries at 4 and 5
Yeah, we almost. God, year 1 was crazy. We almost had, what was it, a 6-way tie at 4 and 5. It was something crazy, like a 6-way tie for last at 4 and 5. We were 1 match away from it, but Raptor lost his match to be last all by himself. So 4 and 5 has been safe. Still got lots of work. And that's where your brain goes the same place mine does. It would be nice to make the playoffs, but gotta stay out of last.
Was it a 6-way tie or was it even a 7-way?
It might have been bigger. It might have been 7.
I thought everyone. Yeah, because I remember.
No, it was 8. It was 8. It was a tie for 2
for
playoff spots.
Into the last match, it was still 7, right?
Yes, that's what it was.
I won my match against Luis, which knocked out one person from that. Luis and Steve were locked into the playoffs, and then it just became every other match broke down for 3 weeks straight, to the point that if Raptor could defeat David Williams in the last match of the last week, there would have been a 7-way tie at 4 and 5. Because I remember you asking Bob, I thought it was one of the more interesting questions we've had, what would you rather have happen? Would you rather have Dave win, Raptors locked up in last, and you're safe, or would you rather have Raptor win and have a 1 in 7 chance to make the playoffs, but a 1 in 7 chance of being out? He's like, I would much rather Raptor win. I want the 1 in 7 chance to make the playoffs. Even if it was a 6 out of 7 chance I'd be out, I would still want the 1 in 7 chance to make the playoffs. I came to win.
Yeah,
it was one of the better interviews we've had on VSL. It was pretty cool.
Well, that's going to do it here for week number 3. Next week, new deck lists. Everybody will have to take stock, look at their 3 opponents, maybe think about where they are in the standings. Now, obviously, I'm not going to ask you what you're going to play, but do you know what you're going to be playing?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, it's not
of course. I knew before week 1 what my decks were for the 3.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
just no possibility of learning something that would change it?
Of course there's a possibility, but I mean, if you're asking...
But you had a plan.
I have a plan, yeah. At the same time, if you ask me the night before Pro Tour, do I know what I'm playing? The answer is yeah. Something could change the morning of. I mean, even though I've been playtesting for weeks, something could certainly change and has. But at the same time, like, if you ask me, do I know what I'm playing? The answer is a likely yes.
Got it. All right. Well, I look forward to finding out what it is. I'll find out when everybody else finds out next week. We'll all have new deck lists, and should make for a fun week 4. The way the schedule works out going forward, by the way, week 4 and week 5 are just coming up the next couple weeks. We are taking off the week before the Pro Tour, so I think that works out to be we have an off week between 5 and 6, or no, it's between 6 and 7 is how it works out. The next set of new deck lists is actually right after the Pro Tour, so we'll get this trimester in, and then maybe go play some Modern in Atlanta. Do you know what you're playing there?
Don't even know what's legal yet, so
no. Yeah. Because there is the small question of what's going to be on the BNR list. A fine point. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, Eric. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry about any of the Twitch hiccups. Hopefully we got back. And we will see you guys next week. Come back then.